95.5 KLOS.
Oh, yeah. Mike Boutin hanging out with us. If you're familiar with the reality show Weed Country on Discovery Channel, you know this guy. He's a friend of the show, and he does the Lord's work, really. He's been farming pot for 35 years. And as far as the advancements, as far as agriculture and the pot, as far as growing it and tending to it and creating new strains, and now this cannabinoid oil from it. Is that something that is new, the cannabinoid oil, or is this something that's always been there, you just didn't know it had the effects it had for medicine?
Well, I think it's always been there.
Yeah.
And I think that as people bred marijuana to get higher THC, sort of the CBD fell away. I'm willing to bet that, marijuana from antiquity or from before we really started manipulating it would have been more of a balanced ratio. I think it probably would have had lower THC, higher CBD.
The potency, they're saying as far as from, like you said, the back in the day.
1970s pot.
Mom and dad's weed. Mm-hmm. And now the potency now is...
And actually, they're kind of doing the same thing again now. Everybody, the CBD thing has come out and it's become kind of a craze. That doesn't mean that there's not substance to it. There is. But this idea that we need to keep... Now when you're breeding marijuana for the highest cannabidiol percentage that we can get. And I think that's as troublesome as going the other direction, because I think that when you go one end of the spectrum or the other, you're sort of, you can't help but breeding out some other part of the cannabinoid profile. Mm-hmm. And it's the entourage effect, really. The cannabinoids working in concert together that really do the trick.
No, the cannabinoid, as far as like the effects on people who are sick or use medicinal marijuana, it doesn't get you high, but it affects
the cannabidiol.
The cannabidiol.
Yeah.
Is that different than the?
It's different, and incidentally, speaking about the entourage effect, what people found out, because a lot of smartest person in the room people thought they were going to do was they were bragging that they were going to take the high out of the medicine. Well, and now they've come to find out that, well, wait a minute. When we do that, see, Marinol doesn't work. It's synthetic THC.
Oh, it doesn't work?
No, it's isolated out by itself. It's basically a worthless drug.
Okay.
Because there's no entourage effect. And so, you have to have things working in concert. So cannabidiol, as powerful and as amazing as it is, it turns out that just a little background amount of THC, some small in the less than 1% range, is really helpful in cannabidiol doing its job. They have to work together.
So do you have separate? When you're growing it, do you have is indoor outdoor?
I know you're trying
operation?
to picture what.
Yeah.
So you have your THC growth over here, then your cannabidiol going over here.
Yeah, well, it can all grow together.
And you're growing it together.
It's an entourage, Frank.
Entourage effect.
Right. No. There's really no difference in growing it other than. Like anything else, not all strains want the same thing. You have to learn what they want and give it to them. And the plants that have high CBD seem to be like special needs plants themselves. They really are very difficult to grow, and so.
And they love to give hugs. It's
weird.
Yeah. You can have them in the same room, but you can't give them the same nutrients.
So if I come to you and I say. And I don't know if people come straight to you, but if I come to you and say, I have horrible back pain, nothing helps me, nothing, and it's debilitating, you would then think this thing that I'm growing here is the best thing for you, or not this one won't work for you, this is going to be something totally different.
Yes.
So it does work like that.
Yes.
Certain things that you grow are for certain
ailments. I would
ailments.
give you the cannabidiol weed in a heartbeat if you came to me and said that.
And I wouldn't feel, whoa,
no,
I got to go to work. You just feel, oh, my back pain's gone. That is fantastic.
Right, and it actually, it seems to, sharpen your focus, your mental acuity. There is an effect that you can feel, but it's not...
In a bad way.
It's not euphoric.
That's I can...
altered perception.
I can get high, I guess, and play golf. They'll be like, what? Because it puts me right in that moment and gives me a mental focus as opposed to all the other thoughts. Like, you don't want to have your head full of thoughts when you're playing golf. You only want to have a couple. And so it kind of just maintains you right there, and I enjoy the game. I'm outside.
Sure.
There's nothing better than,
I've heard nothing bad about marijuana. I don't understand. I
don't
don't
either.
understand. I don't get
Right.
it. Like,
Well, times are changing. Like I said, when do you think? I mean, now that like I said, Colorado and Washington, how long do you think it'll be before everyone's just like, hey,
Well,
it's all good?
I'll tell you, I think it's going to be a while. I think. I mean, we still have. Did you know that there's an Earth Flat Society still?
what is that? Oh, but the people think the Earth is still flat?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
No,
There's
no,
a
I
whole
was surprised too when I heard that. I was too. I thought,
They
really?
go to meetings and they're like, yeah,
Yeah.
the Earth is flat. Yeah, I agree.
Well-
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
What?
Now, having said that,
Oh.
do you suppose that something as controversial as marijuana?
We might be a ways away.
Yeah, we might be a ways away.
1-800-955-5567. Mike Boutin hanging out with us. He's the star of the reality show Weed Country on Discovery Channel. Let's take some calls, Mike. Let's go to Jamie on line 3. Hello, Jamie. Say hello to Mike.
Hey guys, hi.
Hey, Jamie.
I'm saying the seed oil. I've
Oh.
been using it for a long time.
Your phone's cutting out, Jamie. You're going to have to call back.
Something about the CBD oil, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, too bad. Let's. There's another one. Jim on line 2. Do CBD meds have mold that can affect organ transplants? Let's go to Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hello.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, my question is, my wife has rheumatoid arthritis really bad. She cries on the couch sometimes. It's in so much pain, and there's nothing I can do. She used to smoke pot, and it helped with the pain. Well, about 5 years ago, she had kidney failure. I donated a kidney to her. She asked the doctors if it was okay for her to still smoke pot for her arthritis, and they said it wasn't recommended because of the molds in the pot, possible molds in the pot, that it, now that her body's immune system is down, that the molds could make her lose her kidney. My question is, if the CBTs, would they have those same things in them?
Any marijuana could have a mold, a couple different kinds of mold in it, depending upon who grew it, and so the answer is technically yes, but if you're dealing with people who are doing it right, that's going to be less of a concern. And also, if you're going to be using the oil, it's going to be a processed end product, and in order to activate the cannabinoids, you have to decarboxylate it, which essentially just means to heat it up. It activates it because your body's never going to be able to reach the level that it takes.
So if there was mold there, it's being cooked out essentially.
I'm no scientist, but I would
pasteurized medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like
Yeah.
the processed medicine is.
You
not
sound like
gonna
a
be-
scientist. You could have said heat it up. But instead
Yeah,
you
you
used
said
some weird big
decarboxylate.
word.
Decarboxylate.
Decarboxylate.
Like, this guy's smart.
So,
Yeah.
Jim, hopefully that answers your question. Let's move on to Beverly on line 4. Beverly, say hello to Mike Boutin.
Good morning, Mike. How are you? Good
I'm
morning, Mike and
excellent.
Frank.
Good morning.
So, Mike, I have a question. I've had 12 spinal fusions, anterior and posterior, and I've been on pharmaceuticals since 2010 between OxyContin and oxycodone and things for muscle spasms. And the times that I smoke, sometimes it actually exacerbates the pain. So do you have any recommendations as to what to do to not have that happen? Because it becomes kind of a scary thing. I don't want to intensify the pain. I want to get away from it. So what can I do?
Sounds like you're smoking the wrong type of stuff, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah, exactly right. I really think that, if I could give one piece of advice to anybody out there that's listening that wonders about treating themselves with marijuana, if you are not a person who's interested in marijuana or typically throughout your life used marijuana for the euphoric effect, you're good to go. With the cannabidiol, it's not going to be some kind of thing where you go, well, I didn't really feel it, that didn't work. People that use, for the euphoric effect seem to want to poo-poo it because they have no frame of reference for figuring out, I guess, other than your pain going away. But I guess
So she should go with the oil.
Try
right,
other
the
things.
cannabinoid
CBD,
that
the
doesn't give you the
cannabinoid, right. And anybody that contacts me, after the show in, the next few weeks, I'd be more than willing to talk to them about it,
That's
help
awesome.
them out. And one quick thing that, that will answer a lot of people's questions, I'm going to plug a book. Clint Werner wrote a book called Marijuana Gateway to Health. Amazing book.
Clint Werner.
Clint Werner.
Okay.
He's from San Francisco. check it out. That will answer a ton of questions about marijuana.
Gateway to Health. And then you have your website, because I have your Twitter handle here, but what's your website?
CannabisNationRadio.com. They can reach me at mike@CannabisNationRadio.com, Boutin at Hughes.net, any of those.
And at Boutin 420 on Twitter,
Right.
Boutin 420,
Right.
Hashtag Weed Country. Let's take another call. Let's see. Mother has nerve pain. Will CBD oil help her? She has nerve pain?
It
Just depends. Just try it.
Yeah.
Is there a specific low THC weed for relaxation? Probably.
No, whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you.
That's the
You
thing.
just have to, don't
And
be
what
scared.
What
Don't
a
be
fun
scared.
experiment, yeah.
Right. There's nothing, the worst that can happen, I mean, even if you swallowed like a chunk of concentrate, you might wake up in a, 6 hours later,
Yeah.
Well,
what happened? It'll be the best sleep you've ever had. There's nothing
Without
quite
a
like a
mic, though.
marijuana-induced nap.
that sounds good to me.
Jeremy says, wife is pregnant. Is there a medical weed that's okay to ingest?
CBD weed.
CBD weed.
Seriously, and I'm no scientist, I'm no doctor, but I know in my anecdotal evidence and from people I know, I've known people my whole life that smoke marijuana. I know their children. I know that they smoked marijuana while the woman was pregnant, and there's nothing wrong with these kids. They're amazing people. They're smart. They're like anybody else. One of my favorite quotes of all time comes from Mark Twain, and he said, "It's not what we know to be true that's the problem. It's what we know to be true that just ain't so."
Right.
And I mean, you know what? When it comes to marijuana, most of what we think we know,
Not true.
it's not true. It's just absolutely not true.
Well, hopefully that day will come a lot sooner than you expect. That everyone's going to be on board with medical marijuana and the amazing effect that it can have on people and change their lives. Thank you, Mike, for
You're
coming
doing
in,
good
man.
work,
You
Mike.
are doing the Lord's work. The door is always open for you, buddy, anytime. And if you want to contact Mike, again, at Boutin 420 on Twitter, and then CannabisNationRadio.com is the website. Mike at CannabisNationRadio. His email. Ask him questions. Great guy. We'll be right back. We're Heidi and Frank.
That was just a little sample of the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS. Now, to get the show in its entirety, on demand, and if you want to watch the show, we webcast it every day, all you have to do is go to HeidiandFrank.com and become a premium package member. Do it right now.